Kingdom Plantae. Now, in Kingdom Plantae, we see that we include all eukaryotic chlorophyll containing organisms which are commonly called as plants. A few members they are partially heterotrophic, such as insectivorous plants or parasites. Bladderwort and Venus flytrap, they are the examples of the insectivorous plants, and Cuscuta, uh, that is parasite. So the plant cells, they have a eukaryotic structure with a prominent chloroplast and cell wall which is mainly made of cellulose. Eukaryotic cell structure we'll be studying, and that is there in bryophytes, pteridophytes, gymnosperms and angiosperms. So life cycle of the plant has two distinct phases: the diploid saprophytic and the haploid, which is called as gametophytic. So they alternate with each other, and the lengths of the haploid and the diploid phase, whether these phases are free living or dependent on others, they vary among different groups in plants, and this phenomenon is known as alternation of generations. Kingdom Animalia. So in this kingdom, they are heterotrophic eukaryotic organisms, and they are multicellular, and they lack a cell wall. They are directly or indirectly depend on plants for food, and they digest their food in the internal cavity and store food reserves as glycogen or fat. Their mode of nutrition is holozoic, that is by ingestion of food, and they follow a definite growth pattern, and they grow into adults that have a definite shape and size, and the higher forms, they have very elaborate sensory and neuromotor mechanism, and most of them they are capable of locomotion. The sexual reproduction is of the followed by embryological development. Now, the last topic of this chapter is viroids, viruses, prions, and lichens. So, in the five kingdom classification, which is Whitaker, there is no mention of lichens, and some acellular organisms like viruses, viroids, prions, and they are briefly introduced here. In the all of us, we have suffered from the ill effects of common cold or flu, and which is affected by viruses which have us, and now the new coronavirus also. So even if we do not associate it with our condition, viruses did not find a place in classification, since they are not considered truly living. Viruses, they do not if we understand the living as these organisms, they have a cell structure. The viruses, they are non-cellular organisms, and they have a cell structure. Those organisms which have a cell structure, they are not like that. So the viruses, they are non-cellular, and they are characterized by having an inert crystalline structure outside a living cell. And once they infect the cell, they take over the machinery of the host cell to replicate themselves, killing the host, and what do we call the viruses, living or non-living? So the name virus, that means venom or poisonous fluid, was given by Dmitry Ivanovsky, which has recognized certain microbes as causal organisms of the mosaic disease of tobacco. And these are found to be smaller than bacteria because they passed through bacteria-proof filters. M.W. Bejnerk and demonstrated that the exact extract of infected plants of tobacco could cause infection in healthy plants, and called this fluid as contagium fluidum, infectious living fluid. Then later on, Stanley showed that the viruses could be crystallized, and crystals consist largely of proteins. So they are inert outside with specific host cells. So viruses, they are obligate parasites. In addition to proteins, viruses also contain genetic material that could be either RNA or DNA. And so viruses contains RNA and DNA, and virus is a nucleoprotein with the genetic material is infectious. So in general, viruses that infect plants, they have single stranded RNA, and viruses that infect animals, they have either single or double stranded RNA or double stranded DNA. So bacteria, viruses, or bacteriophages, these are the bacteria which infect the viruses. The viruses that infect the bacteria, and they are usually double stranded DNA viruses. And the protein called that is called as capsid. The protein which is around these are called as capsid. They are made of small subunits which are called as capsomeres. These are called as capsomeres, and they protect the nucleic acid, and these capsomeres, they are arranged in helical or polyhedral geometric forms. So viruses cause diseases like mumps, smallpox, herpes, influenza. AIDS in humans is also caused by a virus, and in plants the symptoms can be mosaic formation, leaf rolling, curling, yellowing, vein clearing, dwarfing, or stunted growth. Viroids. In 1971, the Danaher discovered a new infectious agent, and that was smaller than viruses and causes potato spindle tuber disease, and it was found to be a free RNA, and it lacked the protein code, and it is found in viruses, and hence the name viroid. So the RNA of the viroid was of the lower molecular weight. Prions. In modern medicine, certain infectious neurological diseases were found to be transmitted by an agent consisting of abnormally folded proteins. And these are found to be transmitted by an agent which is consisting of abnormally folded proteins, and this agent was similar to the size of viruses. So these agents were called as prions. And the most notable disease caused by prions are bovine spongiform, which is encephalopathy, which is commonly called as mad cow disease in cattle, and its analogous variant that is the Jacob disease in humans. Lichens. Lichens are symbiotic association, that is mutually useful association between algae and fungi, and the algal component is known as phycobiont, and the fungal component is known as mycobiont. They are autotrophic and heterotrophic, and the algae prepare food for the fungus, and fungus provide shelter and absorb mineral nutrients and water for its partner. So close is their association that if one see a lichen in nature, one would never imagine that there are two different organisms within them. So lichens are very good pollution indicators, and they do not grow in polluted areas.